Bathroom update on Ryan's bathroom. We just last night we started putting in on the floor, and so we had to work around the toilet plan, figure out a good pattern to put this in. The little roller I made yesterday worked out pretty good, and so he's got just a little bit more work to do around the bedroom door, and a little more work to do to the entrance from the hallway, and we'll be done with this project, the floor project anyway. And so we're getting all of our hard surfaces ready for the carpet folks to come in and do all their work. We want to get the hard surfaces in before we got the carpet in, so they can put the transitions up close, or put the transitions on top of the hard surfaces. So we'll get busy. Well, here we got Ryan. He's cutting about, what is it, Ryan? About 3/8 or 3/16 of an inch off of the bottom of that door casing there, so the floor can fit up underneath it.
Just using a scrap piece of the floor for a shim, and I'm riding the saw right on top of it. This saw here isn't really the best for the job, but I actually found this when I bought the house when we were limbing the trees over there. And we can't find the good saw, so that's what I'm stuck with.
Well, one of these days you'll be like Dad and won't throw anything away, huh?
Yeah.
Well, while Ryan's working on the entrance or the rest of the floor here, he's cutting off a little bit of the door casing to accommodate the new floor going in, the last few pieces going into the bathroom floor here. I'm going to go ahead and remove this 2x6. We have to put a couple of 1x4s, basically that's 7/8 of an inch, and the other one's 3/4 of an inch, to make up the difference on this 2x6. It's supposed to be 28 3/4 or whatever we figured out yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this 2x6, pull this off, put a shim in here to where this will come out to the right depth for the future shower door that Ryan may or may not put in. So we'll get started. Some little spacers to go up against the wall. You're supposed to have a 1/4 inch of spacing all around your walls when you're installing this floor he's working on. So he's cutting a whole bunch of these out. And we'll did all our pre-leveling, which is probably in the most cases not necessary for this floor because it's in pretty good shape to start with. But just as a precautionary measure, we went ahead and did some pre-leveling. We'll start from this corner here and work towards the kitchen back that way.
You on videos, you come out the width of your plank plus your 1/4 inch or 3/8 of an inch or whatever the manufacturers say,
Mm-hmm.
and then you snap the line according to where it is from your square to the room,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got to put your spacers in, and then you can line it up with a line as you go along. But
That way you start out with a straight line all the way across the floor after you
Yeah.
get past the doorway and where you all cut out and everything. So yeah, that makes sense.
and then you match your shims up accordingly to that line.
Mm-hmm.
So one guy, he had a few different shims, and he put like sometimes 3 shims along the wall.
Yeah, that way when you
Sizes.
start butting stuff up against each other, you can have something up against the wall to so it don't move on you. Correct? So no gathering.
Yeah, so you start with your straight line, and then you put your shims in according to that straight line, and then you pound against those.
Okay. All right. Well, we got a chalk line. We got a tape measure. We'll get this thing set up and start with that.
So you're gonna snap a shot line?
Yeah, it's gonna kind of define where we're at in the corner over there. We have to come in a reference to where the, you know what I'm saying, right back in here. So if we start out with one of your shims right next to the door, because that's your farthest point. Come out 7 1/4 inches. What, 7 1/8?
7 1/8.
Okay, we'll make a little line right there. That's where that first board should come in reference to that particular spot, is what I'm thinking. Do the same thing here, right? So here we got the transitional piece. It's gonna go in between the living room and the dining room. And so it's actually a little metal piece here. And this piece will button down in between the hard surface and the carpet. And then this piece here is going to snap on top of both of those. So we're trying to determine what's going to be the best look for our transitional. That's Kayla's dad right there. Hi, Dad.
How's it going?
Good. We're just figuring out where to put the transition strip down here on our hard surface between our carpet. We were thinking fairly close to the edge here where they can just come in there and, you know, just come in a little bit closer, you know, just kind of stair step in here and make a transition. The transitional strip's right over there.
It's a 2-inch.
It's a 2-inch metallic strip. So that'll go in after they put it in their carpet.
You thinking halfway in the middle of that wall?
No, I was thinking it's right up to here.
First we were
Where
thinking that.
the carpet would come up, basically up into here, so it'd look like a straight shot with the transition strip. I don't know. We're trying to decide.
Micromanaging here. I don't think it matters a whole lot. It's just all depends on the look you want. You know, the transition between the living room and the dining room.
Yeah, depends on your table too. Whoever's sitting at this side of the table, you don't want to be your legs of your chair digging into the carpet.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking about, making it as far back as you can with the line of the wall here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hardest part's measuring it straight.
Mm-hmm.
I think we kind of got that down. We figured actually between where the island here, or the part of the counter that goes out into the floor over here, the difference between this edge here and this edge here to the wall is a 1/4 inch. So we thought it might be best. I don't think you're going to see a 1/4 inch on that end, but to make, we snapped the line here that makes the door and everything square to, our start point, for that 7 1/8 inch. Those planks are 7 1/8 inch, and so we're trying to make everything square to the glass door, and then that you can see where the T-square is. We line that up and squared that with the chalk line, and it's square to that, you know,
Sheet seam.
the sheet seam exactly.
You're probably not gonna see it from there. Where you're gonna see it most is when you come in the hallway, or you're looking down the hallway with this wall.
Mm-hmm.
I would make the measurements off that wall. I might take some off that, but
And then a line of sight.
run a string line down this guy,
Mm-hmm.
just to this, that, but this one's gonna be the most important.
Right.
Especially when you're coming down the hallway, because you'll see that variation.
Yep, that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
So should we measure off that wall then? Big tape.
If you got a pencil, I'll just mark this out for you. Not a big deal.
You know, line of sight, you know, and when I was surveying, that's exactly true.
Do the yellow string.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just-
Yep.
So you just measure if that seam's straight.
Well, we could take the chalk line here.
You're gonna be hard pressed to find a wall that's straight.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
You want to take that and run that down the wall. Kick all that garbage out of the way and we're good to go.
Of course, on the corner of your sheetrock, you're gonna have to little bow out. It's just
Yeah.
gonna throw you off a little bit.
Yep, exactly right. I just have to make it to where it's just barely touching that
Right there.
corner right in there. That's gotta just barely touch that, Ryan. Yeah, you don't want to handle it. I want to handle it. Okay, so when I just bring that right in close,
Right there is
right there is perfect. So that does travel. That does travel out a little bit along through here. So if we wanted to snap that, what I'll do is I'll do that again. So right there on the corner,
Go in just a hair. There, right there. Right there.
right there,
Yep.
and straight down. Oh, I got this. I got this right underneath my hand here. So okay, I gotta do that again. Okay. Right there, huh? Ready? Does that look good, Clint?
Yep.
Okay, so we got just enough of a line right in there, and we can see where to start that, or end it, or have a reference point where we want to set that line. Wonderful.
There's sparks flying out of that stuff.
Yeah, that stuff is not sure.
Pretty tough.
I know like with particle board and stuff like that, you'll see that happening.
Look at this Cortex stuff. Almost as better than that Invincible stuff.
Oh, really?
Look how thick that wear layer is. It's better than most laminates.
Yeah, this is Pat from Rain Country Homestead. The other night when me and Ryan were putting in the dining room and kitchen floor, I ran out of battery power. I was going to give you a time-lapse photography installation from start to finish on this, but I ran out of battery power. It would have been pretty cool to watch this in fast motion and seeing the panels being put in from start to finish, but finished up around 9 o'clock the other night and finally got it in, but it turned out pretty nice. We had very little, hardly any waste at all. We got just a little bitty pile of stuff over here, but I don't even think we had 10% waste. All of our measurements came out impressively close. When we put this in, they called for a 1/4 inch gap all the way around, so we got that all in place properly. Anything else to show you? Well, over here, it just happened to be that the panels all came out to where we didn't have to really do any cutting in here. See where this panel here comes straight in? It came straight up to the wall. I had to notch this little tongue here out just to get it past this existing piece of trim around the cabinets, and we just kept on going with it. We were gonna stop the other night, and you know, right about in here where the transition point is between the kitchen and the dining room, and we just kept on going. We kept going, and not only did it end up just right in here, you know, where we didn't have to do any cutting on these floor panels. When we made our way across here, voila, we had the same thing happen here. So it made it just a little bit easier for us to put this floor in. So anyhow, I'll just give you an update on that. And I think, I'm not sure if I gave the floor a good look-see with everybody by the time me and Ryan got the floor in his bathroom, but here's the finished floor for his bathroom. It's a little bit different floor. Floor type. This is a waterproof floor, so any water is not going to affect the integrity of the floor. It has just a little bit different locking system on here than the floor it is put in. Similar but different, if that makes any sense. They all interlocked. This little tongue here. This stuff cuts with a table saw or a skill saw or a jigsaw. You can also score it and break it. I suppose down the road, if anybody's interested, a guy can do a little demonstration from these scraps to show you how to put them together. But anyway, just thought I'd give you an update on this.